It's debate night.
What's good? What's good? Probably a surprise. What's up, Cosmo? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Much love. Run slow motion for a hug. Appreciate it, brother. Much love back. Much love, Brack. Yes, sir. So this one was kind of I decided to do because I haven't reacted to the interview with Trump and my man Tucker, so you know, I decided, hey, this would be very interesting, and I think reacting to it and listening, I think would be I think it'd be kind of cool. So I think it'd be pretty fire to do. So that's why I'm like, frick it, I'm gonna do it. So let me know what you guys think. Are you getting the new To Destinies? Yes, sir. Of course. Definitely. A lot of people are asking me that. Man, that must be a hot topic. Yes, sir. I am getting that. Yes. Demo game already pre-ordered. You can already pre-order it? Really? Wow. I didn't even know. Okay. Well, I'll definitely do so. I didn't even know you could yet. So. Oh, wait, hold up. Why your stream look pixelated? I don't know.
It's debate night.
Okay. Sorry, the volume's really weird on this. That's why it's really weird. Wait, so is it pixelated right now, or is it okay right now? Let me know. My internet might be. Jesus criminy. Well, that's okay. Sorry, man. That's fine. You should know. Yeah. Well, how is it right now? Is it all right, or is it? I think we need to reset our damn router, dude. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know why it's being this inconsistent. I don't get it. It's not supposed to be like this. It's on 20p, but it still looks shit. I'm tired of my internet. Jesus Christ. They need to up our speeds. This freaking 20 megabyte BS ain't doing it. I don't know what's going on with it. It's being very inconsistent right now. And I think my dad just needs to... Well, it's not my router, so I can't do that. So... It's not mine. It's my parents'. So they would have to do it. Because I don't want to frick it up. I don't want them bitching at me for, well, why did you take the name out? Or now it doesn't want to work. You know the old saying. So... If it was my router, I would do it. You know what I mean? I would unplug it for 10 seconds, but... Well, I don't know, Cosmo. I don't know. I've only been doing them when it's been working. So, take that for what it is. So, and if it hasn't been working, then I don't do it. Essentially, so. I know, but that's you. Okay, my parents both work at home, so that's the difference. If you get the drift. So, if you get the drift, that's why I don't touch it. You know what I mean? Because they have, you know, my dad runs his business here, and my mom makes the money. If you get the drift, the money bread. So, I just don't want to turn it off and then turn it back on, and then, you know what I mean, like, and then maybe not everything comes back on, you know what I mean, like in terms of their stuff, I mean, you know, so yeah, I don't know, but I'm just gonna tell them that we should just do a reset, so, right, and apparently it's been working during the day, so I don't know why it's being stupid as shit right now. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Is it okay right now though? Is it all right? Let me know. Put it at 480p. Otherwise, you know what I mean. Try that. 480p is not bad either. Can you see for yourself? Well, I don't want to get off my Twitter thing because as soon as I get off this, I guess, but it's gonna mess it up. I gotta go back and that's gonna do that. Oh no, actually wait a minute. I gotta disconnect it first. Hold up. Jesus Christ. What's good? Fucking criminy. Come on, you piece of shit. And this is what makes me want to throw my device across the goddamn room. Jesus freaking Christ. Okay. Yeah, it is a little bit pixelated. Yeah, try 480p. It seems to be a smidge better. It's not demanding too much. So, I mean, try that. Wonder how the Thursday stream went. I hate this fucking button, this turn off fucking incognito, whatever the hell this shit is. Why is it even an option? I think it's stupid. Appreciate the new sub, by the way, thank you. How was my Thursday stream, though? How was that? Did that go good? Oh yeah, it looks like it went fine. Yeah, it looks like it went great. So why is it now being crap? What? Bruh, that makes no sense at all. Yeah, that makes no sense at all. Huh. Alright. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know why it's being like this. I don't get it. I agree. I think it needs a reset. But then when it starts working, then they're like, oh, well, then it's fine. I think we should just reset it anyway. Shit, now I gotta reconnect it. Alright. Yeah, I guess just go with it for now. I mean, I don't know if my game stream will work then. I don't know. What the? I'm not even playing it, bruh. Let me try it. Alright, there we go. Okay, now I don't want to. No, because I'm airplaying it from my phone to the Roku. So, because it's on X. The interview is on X, or Twitter, if you still call it Twitter. X, whatever. So that's where the interview is. So that's how I'm streaming it to my Roku, so that way then I can see it in the. So then I can see it on my thing. So. Nah, I don't want to test it. I don't care. As an X-Men, yeah. No, just X. Just X. So. Wolverine's my fave. Nah, I don't want to test it. Frig it. It is what it is. I'll just go with it. I'm live. You know what I mean? So, if it's not unbearable, you know what I mean? Just put it at 480p. Try that. And, you know. So, what's your favorite? I'm not really X-Men guy. I mean, X-Men's alright. He's chill. So, not too much into it. So, but anyways, hope you guys are doing great. Smash a like, subscribe. You guys are new, would appreciate it. Apologies for the little bit of pixelization. I apologize. Hopefully it's not unbearable. But nonetheless, you're able to hear the entire interview, and that is my goal. So as long as you're able to hear that, that is what I'm. You're more into Deadpool, I see. Yeah, Deadpool's funny. Yeah. But yeah, so this is my reaction to Trump's interview with Mr. Tucker Carlson over there. Very interesting to see my Mr. T man, as I call him. So, Mr. T, you know, short for T. Because he wasn't at the debate with all the other Republicans, which was A-okay. I'm not complaining. But, an interview with these guys, you know it. So, my reaction's going to be right here. You're going to be able to hear the whole thing, 100%. I'm not going to show it just because it's more complicated for me to switch the camera constantly, you know what I mean? It's just my reaction. But nonetheless, you'll be able to hear it the whole way through. I will pause it if I want to say something, you know what I mean? Or if we want to kind of communicate on a subject first, you know what I mean? And that's perfectly fine. I have no problem doing that. But other than that, we're just going to be kind of listening and, you know, kind of essentially doing that and kind of getting my reaction to what he has to say with Mr. Tucker here, and see if any new things that he plans to do while he's being indicted another time. So that is kind of the scoop here. So definitely smash a like. Hope you guys enjoy. If you guys want me to kind of do more of these in the future, smash on a like, would appreciate it. Will definitely kind of give me that indication that heck yeah, you know what I mean, do a bunch of more of these, because that'd be awesome. So, you know, 5 to 10, that'd be fire. You know, I respect whatever political party you are in. Just want to keep that informal. So, I'm a very mellow guy with that. I know we don't get too much into political talk, if you know what I mean, but with the way our country's kind of going, not looking too good, if you know what I mean. So, you know, you got that. So, but yeah, hey, they did an interview, and I haven't seen it yet, so I only saw like, the first minute, maybe, if that, and I don't even fully remember it. So, because then I told myself, you know what, I don't have 46 minutes at the moment, or at least at the time that I started watching it. I didn't have 46 minutes to sit through the whole dang thing. So, whatnot to save it for you guys, reacting to it, and to kind of have a discussion on it. So, I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. So, and I hope my internet stays with me, maybe praying to the Lord. If it does, then I'll be able to do Callisto Protocol gameplay. I plan to do that anyway next. But if not, no worst case scenario, I'll do it probably tomorrow night. So just stay tuned, and I'll just make it. I'll make it formal to my parents that, hey, the internet keeps cutting out, during these weird times. You know what I mean? And let's give it a reset, if you know what I mean. So, and hopefully this won't be a continuing error, a continuing situation. So, hopefully not. Grief. This is what overrays looks like if you were transported to Minecraft. You're funny. You're funny. So yeah, so how's everybody doing? Let me know. Feel free. And you're hilarious. Second channel, my Twitch channel, and my friend's channel, Super Batman's channel. Links are in the description. Check them all out. Would appreciate it. Show some love. That'd be awesome. If you guys want to be a member to get extra perks, you guys can do so. Hit the join button or hit the link in the description. And my social medias are in the description as well. Check them all out. Stay up to date with me. You already know. And you guys will be able to see the interview for yourselves if you guys would like to, because I did retweet it and liked it. So you guys will see it either on my main page. It's not always coming right. You're funny. And you can show some love to Cosmo too. Show him some love. There in my chat. He's a cool bro. Help him get to 2K subs. That'll be awesome. So, nonetheless, here we go, boys. Here we go. So, let's get it. So, I don't know if it all sounds good.
It's debate night, but we're not in Milwaukee.
So, we got Tucker and we got Mr. Donald J. Trump.
Mr. President, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Why aren't you at the Fox News debate tonight in Milwaukee?
Well, a lot of people have been asking me that, and many people said you shouldn't do them, but you see the polls have come out, and I'm leading by 50 and 60 points. And, some of them are at 1 and 0 and 2. And I'm saying, do I sit there for an hour or 2 hours, whatever it's going to be, and get harassed by people that shouldn't even be running for president? Should I be doing that? And a network that isn't particularly friendly to me, frankly. They were backing Ron DeSanctimonious like crazy, and now they've given up on him. I mean, it's a lost cause. It reminded me very much of 2016. In 2016, I went through the same stuff and had to fight them all the way, and then they became very friendly after I won, or just about when I was winning. But I just felt it would be more appropriate not to do the debate. I don't think it's right to do it. If you're leading by 50, 60, I have one problem leading by 70 points, and I'm saying, why am I doing it? And I'm going to have 8 people, 10 people, whoever made the debate, I don't know how many it is, but I'm going to have all these people screaming at me, shouting questions at me, all of which I love answering, I love doing, but it doesn't make sense to do them. So I've taken a pass, as you probably noticed.
Well, I did. I'm grateful that you did. It's interesting, though, because you spent a lot of your career in television.
Yeah.
You had a top show in television on NBC. But you don't feel the need now running for president to do television, obviously. Do you think television is declining?
Well, according to a poll that I guess we just saw, it just came out where it's down like 30, 35%, but I think they were referring to cable. I think cable's down because it's lost credibility. MSNBC, or as they say, MSDNC, is so bad. It's so wrong what they write and what they do and what they say. It's fake news, as I said. I think I came up with that term. I hope I did, because it's a good one. It's not tough enough anymore. It's corrupt news. Really what you do is call it corrupt news, but somehow that doesn't play as nicely. But it is corrupt news. So you have MSNBC and you have CNN, who's absolutely doing no ratings at all. I mean, they're dead. But they're doing none because they don't have credibility. They really don't have credibility. Fox is way down, as you know. And the good old days are long ago. I will say this, it could come back, but they just don't have a lot of credibility. Tucker, you know that perhaps better than anybody. I think it was a terrible move getting rid of you. You were number one on television, and all of a sudden we're doing this interview, but we'll get bigger ratings using this crazy forum that you're using than probably the debate or competition.
When you say there are people on stage who shouldn't be running for president, who do you mean?
Well, I don't want to really use names, but it wouldn't matter too much. A guy like, I call him Ada Hutchinson. It's Asa, but I call him Ada.
Why do you call him Ada?
I could tell you, but I don't want to get myself in a little trouble. But he's weak and pathetic, and he was, I never understood the guy, never knew him. He was the governor of Arkansas, not a very popular guy. I don't know how but that state is such a great state. The people are so incredible in that state, and they love me and I love them. How does this guy get elected governor of Arkansas? But he's nasty always and has been. A guy like Chris Christie, a guy left with a 8%, think of it, 8% approval rating in New Jersey. Now he's running for president. And he runs solely on the basis, oh, let's get Trump. He's like a savage maniac. He's like a lunatic. And that's all he talks about. His poll numbers are very, very low. He's about 2%.
What's he like? You know him well.
No, I've been friendly with him over the years, but I couldn't give him a job because I just never trusted him very much. I was just never one of his people that really trusted him. I never gave him the job, and that's one of the reasons he feels so hurt and so betrayed. And I understand that. I really do. I understand it, but I never gave him. He wanted to be different things. He was looking at different elements of the administration, and I decided I didn't want to do it. And now I'm glad I did, because you see, but we had some great people. I had great people. We'll have even better people if we do this, because now I know Washington. Before I didn't know Washington. But guys like Bill Barr were terrible. I mean, they were, I would say, Bushies. I say that with respect to the Bush family, but they were Bushies, and it doesn't.
I'll pause it here for a sec. What's up, Walker Day? Welcome to the stream. Hey, bro, my apologies for missing your message. I fell asleep. Oh, you're good, man. Maybe Thursday of next week we can do the Walking Dead Thursday stream together. For sure, definitely. Heck yeah, definitely, man. Thank you for joining in, though.
Work out for us.
It was clear, this is kind of far afield, but it was just interesting. I read Barr's
good to hear
account of his time. He wrote a book about it,
right?
His autobiography, and in it he lies about Jeffrey Epstein's death. Clearly lies. Do you think Epstein killed himself sincerely?
I don't know. I will say that he was a fixture in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
I don't know what Barr said about it either. I have no idea what he said. What did he say? He killed himself, probably?
He said he killed himself and that they were going to do this investigation. They never did the investigation. It's never been public. Well, and they hid it. And, why are they doing that? And clearly Barr knew. But why would Bill Barr be covering up the death of Jeffrey Epstein?
Bill Barr didn't do an investigation on the election fraud either, okay? He said he did, and he pretended he did, but he didn't. McSwain, the U.S. attorney in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, said Barr just wouldn't let him do it. It was crazy. Barr became so petrified, so frightened of being impeached. We're going to impeach him. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
It's not a big moment in history. But they said, we're going to impeach. They play a much rougher game, the left, the lunatics. And they were going to impeach Bill Barr, and he was petrified. Now, how do you not get impeached? Don't do any of this stuff. But he didn't do the job there. I don't know what he did with Epstein, but possibly he didn't.
Do you think it's possible that Epstein was killed?
Oh, sure, it's possible. I mean, I don't really believe. I think he probably committed suicide. He had a life with, beautiful homes and beautiful everything, and he all of a sudden he's incarcerated and not doing very well. I would say that he did, but there are those people. There are many people. I think you're one of them, right? But a lot of people think that he was killed. He knew a lot on a lot of people.
He was killed.
You think so?
I think the closer you look, I'm not a conspiracy person at all. I believe everything I hear. But yeah, the closer you look into it, I mean, the Attorney General of the United States, your Attorney General, clearly lied about the Epstein death.
Yeah, he was.
Why?
He was certainly. It wasn't well done. They had no cameras. They had no anything. Everybody was sleeping, and a case could be made. Look, I'm not going to get involved in it, but I can tell you a case could be made either way. But it certainly wasn't the most well-run place.
So the reason I'm asking you is I'm looking at the trajectory since 2015 when you got into politics, for real, and then won. It started with protests against you, massive protests, organized protests by the left, and then it moved to impeachment twice,
right?
And now indictment. I mean, the next stage is violence. Are you worried that they're going to try and kill you? Why wouldn't they try and kill you, honestly?
They're savage animals. They are people that are sick, really sick. You have great people in the Democrat Party. You have great people that are Democrats. Most of the people in our country are fantastic, and I'm representing everybody. I'm not just Republicans or conservatives. I represent everybody. I'm the president of everybody. But I've seen what they do. I've seen the lengths that they go to. When they make up the Russia, when that's exposed and they go down, and Barr should have gone after them, and other people should have gone after, and they did very late, because the Durham report came out. It was fairly good. It could have been a lot tougher, I guess, but it was fairly good. But it explained how corrupt it was. I'll tell you who did a great job was the Inspector General Horowitz. He did a phenomenal report. You didn't have to go to Durham. He did it on Comey and on, I guess, McCabe and some others, and it was a vicious, it was basically a true report, how bad they are. But these people are sick people. These are people that I think they hate our country. You want to know the truth. When you see open borders, when you see these policies that they have, and so many other things, it's so sad to see.
Appreciate your intellect.
We have a country that's very fragile right now. I've never seen, I will say, look, I ran in 16, which was 15, but I ran in 16, election in 16, and there was tremendous spirit. In 20, there was even more spirit. We got millions and millions more votes. It wasn't even a contest. People said, well, what'd you think of 20? I said, we did much better. We did. You got to base it on the number of votes. We got many more votes in 20 than we did in 16. But the election was rigged. It was a rigged election. And with COVID, they used COVID to cheat in a lot of different things, and we have so much on it. It's like so easy. But we had judges that didn't want to look. We had people didn't want to get involved. They called you, he's a conspiracy theorist if you say anything about the election. But I have never seen spirit like there is right now. Even coming down here, just the people on the road that are just absolutely going crazy. And the reason is, I think they like me, and I know they love my policies. I hope they like me too. A lot of people say they don't like me, but they like my policies. I think they like me. But I have never seen spirit like it is right now. And the reason is because crooked Joe Biden is so bad. He's the worst president in the history of our country. I don't think he's going to make it to the gate, but you never know. But he's a corrupt person, so corrupt that I took the name off Hillary. I don't do two people at one time. I took the crooked Hillary and I retired the name. That was a good day for her. I bet she was very happy. And I used it for Joe because it's crooked Joe. But Joe is really... But
you don't think he's going to make it to November of 24?
Well, I think he's worse mentally than he is physically. And physically, he's not exactly a triathlete or any kind of an athlete. You look at him, he can't walk to the helicopter. He walks. He can't lift his feet out of the grass. It's only 2 inches at the White House, right? That's not a lot. But you watch him, and it looks like he's walking on toothpicks. And then you see him on the beach where he can't lift a chair. Those chairs are meant to be light, right? They're like 2 ounces. You lift them up. He can't lift the chair. He can't walk to the chair. And I don't know what they're doing with the beach. This beach is seeming to play a big role, but they love pictures of him on the beach. I think he looks terrible on the beach. Looks terrible on the beach.
Skinny legs.
Well, he can't walk through the sand. Sand is not that easy to walk through, but when he walks through it, he can't walk through the sand. And there's somebody in there that thinks he looks fabulous at the beach. I think he looks horrible at the beach. Plus, the beach doesn't represent what a president's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be working. He's supposed to be getting us out of that horrible, horrible war that we're very much involved in with Russia and Ukraine. You could do that. You could do that very easily. I believe you could do that I don't believe he could do it because he's just incompetent. But that's a war that should end immediately, not because of one side or the other, because hundreds of thousands of people are being killed. Can you imagine you're in an apartment house and rockets are going into that building and blowing it up and knocking it down? And why should anybody, human beings, whether they're Russian or Ukrainian or whatever they are, It's got to be stopped, and it can be stopped very easily. It would have never started. If I were president, it would have never started.
So back to Biden, I'm interested. So you think he's failing? He obviously is failing. I think it's clear to everybody. But that would make Kamala Harris the candidate?
Well, not really. I mean, I guess they'd have maybe a free-for-all. A lot of people say she has to remain for certain reasons the candidate. She has to. I don't think that's true, actually. I don't think that other people would stand for it. She has some bad moments. Her moments are almost as bad as his. I think his are worse, actually.
Yeah.
But
She seems pretty senile, too.
she speaks in rhyme. And, it's weird. It's weird. But she has bad moments. And
In rhyme? What do you...
well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. And it's weird. The whole thing is weird. This is not a president of the United States future. And I think they probably have some kind of a primary and other people will get involved.
Newsom, right? I mean,
Could be. I mean, you know, I always got along well with him, believe it or not. But could be him, could be somebody else. He's got a big load on his shoulders because you look at California, what's happened. But I don't know if the American people really, the people that vote for him, I don't even know if they care. You know, you look at so many of the things that are going on, and people don't seem to be. In the old days, if you had a bad record, it meant a lot. Today, if you have a bad record, it doesn't really mean anything. You know, he looks good. He's a nice-looking guy, speaks well.
Right.
But Biden, every time you watch him talking, it's like he's walking on eggs. You're waiting for him to collapse. And he almost always does. And I got to know the leaders of all of the countries, essentially, but the big ones. And the bigger, the tougher the leader. You know, it's like sort of, I guess maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But I got to know President Xi of China and Putin and Kim Jong-un, North Korea. Did a great job with North Korea, kept us out of a nuclear war. We would have 40,000 dead soldiers right now. They'd drop a nuke right on top of the military base. But we have 40,000 soldiers over there. And I did great. I got along with him great. That's a positive. You know, the press said, he said nice things about Kim Jong-un. I also said horrible things at the beginning. Horrible enough that he wanted to talk. And we talked, and we met in Singapore. We met actually twice. And we had unbelievable meetings. I know him very well. We were in great shape with him.
What do you think he and Xi and Putin think of Biden?
I think they can't believe it. I think they probably say this is some kind of a system. You know, they had great respect for our country. They respected me. They had great respect for our country when I was there. Every one of them. Look, if you go to North Korea, you take a look at what happened. You know, the Olympics was dead. South Korea spent billions on the Olympics. Nobody was going to go. They didn't want to get blown up. They called me and they said, we are going to let the Olympics proceed. This is North Korea. I said, you should go into the Olympics. Put your athletes in. It wasn't like, you know, they were big on athletes because, you know.
Famine.
But they went in, and they actually participated. And within about 2 days, the entire thing was sold out. And if it wasn't me, that would have never happened. But I got along very well with him, and that's a positive thing. He does have massive nuclear power, by the way. And if Hillary would have gotten in, or if the Obama thought process continued, it would have been a nuclear war, absolutely, with North Korea. He was expecting to go into a war, and it would have been a nuclear war.
So do you think the rest of the world looks on at Biden and thinks someone else has got to be running the government?
Well, somebody else has to be. I don't think he's capable of doing anything. Look, when I debated him, I said, how come, and this was in front of probably not a friend of yours, Chris Wallace. He was the moderator.
Not a friend.
I said, why is it? He wants to be Mike, but he doesn't have the talent. It's one of those
bitchy little man.
He wanted to be his father, but he didn't have the talent of his father was great. His father,
a little fussy man.
His father interviewed me in 60 Minutes. It was actually a 10. Can you believe it?
No, I totally. His father had talent, at least.
I may have been the only guy that he gave a good 60 Minutes to. He was rough.
Really?
His father was tough. He was great, though. He was great at what he did. But Chris Wallace was so upset. He was guarding this guy who wouldn't do a show, by the way. You know, he wouldn't do. I figured I didn't mind Chris Wallace because Biden wouldn't do a show, and it was very obvious. You know, he kept asking him, but he wouldn't do the show. So I figured he's got to like me. But he came from a different planet. But remember when I asked the question, why is it that the mayor of Moscow's wife is allowed to give you $3.5 million Don't forget, that was brought up. Now it's brought up all the time, but that was brought up by me long before anyone ever heard of it.
I'm just rubbing my hand.
I said, the mayor of Moscow's wife giving you $3.5 million. What did you do to deserve $3.5 million? To Biden. And Chris Wallace said, this has nothing to do with the debate. I mean, he
got in the way of the question.
No, it was crazy. And I said, well, wait a minute. He got $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife. Now, people forget that, but if you go back and take a look, you will see. And Chris Wallace didn't want me to ask that question. I said, I think it's a very appropriate question. It turned out to be much more appropriate than people thought.
Amazing. So do you have a preference in, assuming you're the Republican nominee and all goes as you plan it to go, do you have a preference in who you run against?
In many ways, I'd love to run against him because his record's so bad. You know, it's still horrible when you look at inflation and everything else, but others also have very bad records. I mean, California's a bad record, so, you know, should it be Gavin or should it be somebody else? When I look at San Francisco, what's happened to that incredible city? That was one of the greatest cities in the world just a short while ago, and now it's very sad when you look at it. Los Angeles, every city practically, all the Democrat-run cities. You know, Republican-run cities are doing very nicely because they arrest people when you have crimes. And they don't go after political candidates because they think it's good. You know, I mean, it's like been amazing. My poll numbers are the highest I've ever had. But because people understand it.
Can I just ask you, that gets back to my original question. So if the protest didn't work, you got elected anyway. Yeah. Impeachment didn't work twice, obviously. Indictment is not working. Your poll numbers go up. When they raided Mar-a-Lago in August of last year, your numbers went up. They can indict you 20 times, and you're not gonna lose the Republican primary because of that.
Well, so, it makes it look even more ridiculous. I mean, the 4 indictments, and maybe there'll be more. I don't know. These people are crazy.
But they're counterproductive. So if you chart it out, it's an escalation. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. So what's next after try to put you in prison for the rest of your life? That's not working. So don't they have to kill you now?
I think the people of our country don't get enough credit for how smart they are. And I'm not sure I would have said this 10 years ago, but they get it. You know, they really get it. When somebody gets indicted, your poll numbers go down. When somebody gets indicted, you announce, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be leaving to spend time with my family and to fight for the rest of my life on this stuff. But you're out of politics. I got indicted 4 times. All trivia, nonsense, bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's horrible when you look and you look at what they're doing. The boxes hoax, I'm covered by the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do exactly that. He's not covered, and he's got 25 times the number of boxes, and he's got them stored in Chinatown. He's got them stored in a flimsy garage underneath his Corvette at Penn. And by the way, at Penn, he gets millions of dollars. China pays this guy millions of dollars. See, I think he's the most corrupt president we've ever had, and he also has the distinction of being the most incompetent. And I believe both. I mean, he's both incompetent and corrupt.
So
I actually believe he's compromised because China knows so much about him. They know where the money comes from. They know where it is, who paid it, and they probably paid it. Well, they do pay Penn, and he gets $1 million. I think he takes $999,000 because keeps it a little bit under $1 million, like by $1. But he, in many ways, is a Manchurian candidate. We have a Manchurian candidate. And he's afraid to tell Russia to get out of Cuba. He's afraid to tell China to get out of Cuba. He's afraid. China now is building, think of this. China is building military installations in Cuba.
Nice, officer.
The Cuban population of Miami is not too happy because they're never going to be able to go back. And you don't even hear about it. And the worst culprit is the press, the media, because normally, when I first heard that China is building installations in Cuba, and installations means military installations, okay, they said just some communication. They did that on the islands with Japan. They took the island, they started this massive construction, and they told everybody, including the Japanese have to be very careful, they told everybody that this is a housing development. They're going to build a housing development. And I said, how come the runway is 20,000 feet long? Private jets need 4,000 feet. They don't need 20,000 feet. The big ones need 20,000 feet. They don't even need 20. And I looked at the runway. I said, that's the largest runway ever built, both in width and length, for housing development. There's nobody that has a plane that big that you would have a runway that's
Why
that's
is
for
China
testing.
allowed to conduct imperialism in our hemisphere?
Well, yeah, and it's far beyond Cuba. It's all over South America.
Yeah, in the Caribbean.
So we built a thing called the Panama Canal. We lost 35,000 people to the mosquito, malaria.
Yeah.
We lost 35,000 people building. We lost 35,000 people because of the mosquito. Vicious. They had to build under nets. It was one of the true great wonders of the world. As he said, one of the 9 wonders of the world. No, it was one of the 7. It happened a little while ago, It says 9 wonders of the world. You could make 9 wonders. He would have been better off if he stuck with the 9 and just said, yeah, I think it's 9. But this is one of the true 7 wonders of the world. And you take a look at the Panama Canal. It was such an incredible engineering marvel. We sold it under Jimmy Carter. We sold it to Panama for $1. The following day, they quadrupled the amount of money the ships had to pay to get across. They didn't lose one ship. And now they've made it much bigger, and now they've widened it. They've doubled it, right? They've more than doubled it. And it's one of the most profitable things. Any time it's just incredible, right? We gave it away for $1. China now controls it. They actually control the Panama Canal. They run it, they control it. And we shouldn't let that happen. And we can't let China be in Cuba. And they'll get out. If I'm president, they'll get out. Because I had a very good relationship with President Xi, but he respected this country, he respected me, and he'll get out. And we can't let them run the Panama Canal. We built the Panama Canal. Should have never been given to Panama. We should have had it. But we gave it for $1. Think of it. They quadrupled. In one day, they lifted the fees, which are, pretty big, for these massive ships to go through, right? Rather than going around the Cape and through all the tremendous storms, such beauty, it's beautiful stuff. But you didn't want to get caught in those storms. Those were storms that wiped out the biggest ships. And we go through the Panama Canal, we built it, and we gave it away for $1. Think of that. How stupid are we? We have done the stupidest things in this country. And now we have a president that can't put 2 sentences together, can't speak, can't walk, can't talk. I don't think he gets to the starting gate, but these people do miracles. I mean, he ran out of his basement, and he got away with that one because of COVID, so he sort of got away with it. They cheated on the election. But you have people that are very smart, but they're fascists and they're radical left lunatics, and they're destroying our country with the all-electric cars and the windmills all over the place, which, by the way, don't work, and they're most of them made in China. For the most part, they're made in China. Germany a little bit, but China. But you look at what's happening to our country, even no voter ID. I mean, why don't they want voter ID? There's only one reason they don't want voter ID, because they want to cheat. I mean, who doesn't want, the Democrat convention, the last one, they had voter ID that was this big. It looked like a prison card, this big on their chest. You walked in, they had your picture, your this, your fingerprint. They had everything. The most incredible voter ID I've ever seen. That was to get into the Democrat National Convention. But to get in to vote, if you buy groceries, if you buy practically anything now, you have ID on a card, credit cards or otherwise.
But don't you think it's racist to have to show your ID?
Well, they probably say that. They use anything not to show ID, because voter ID is pretty simple. And we could go back, and we should go back to all paper ballots, voter ID, same-day voting. France did it. France had mail-in ballots, and it was terrible. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you're going to have massive cheating on your elections. Anytime, and not just the presidential election. Anytime you have...
Isn't that the whole point of them? So
yeah.
you can
Oh,
cheat?
yeah, sure. It's their whole point. That's their whole point. They want to cheat. Yeah. They have to cheat because their policies are so bad that if they didn't cheat, they couldn't get elected. Who wants open borders? Who wants high taxes? Who wants high interest rates? Who wants to not be able to use a gas stove or have to drive an electric car, which, you have a 4-hour drive, but the car only goes an hour and a half, so you have to charge it. The happiest moment for somebody in an electric car is the first 10 minutes. In other words, you get it charged, and now for 10 minutes. The unhappiest part is the next hour, because you're petrified that you're not going to be finding another charger.
Right,
people,
yeah.
I'm saying I'm not knocking electric cars, they're fine. They're fine. But if people want to buy a gasoline car or a hybrids are pretty good, actually, but they should be allowed to buy. They don't want to do any of this. So right now, California's in a big brownout because their grid is a disaster. The grid all over the country is sort of a disaster, but the grid in California. And yet, they want to have in a very short period of time millions and millions of cars going off that grid, essentially. It doesn't work.
So plug your car into a grid that's failing.
You should be able to buy an electric car. You know, electric cars could be fine if you drive short distances and you want to have, you know, whatever, and you have plug-ins everywhere you go. They could be fine. But you got to have gasoline cars. You got to have everything. Let people buy everything. Now there's the new thing is your heating systems in the house. They don't want you to have a modern-day heating system. They want you to use a heating system that will cost you at least $10,000 to buy and won't work very well. You know, none of the stuff works as well. One of the things I did with EPA is you have states, many states, most of the states have so much water. You know, it comes out of heaven, right? The water pours down and you have it. It's there. It's got to go wherever it goes, into the oceans, whatever. It's not like a big problem. Now, in some states, they have a problem. You know, you have some desert areas and all, and for that, it's okay. But they have sinks where no water comes out. You turn it on, no water comes out. No water comes out of the shower. No water is allowed to go into the washing machine for your dishes or for your clothing or what. And I avoided all of that.
Wait, they have sinks where no water comes out?
Sure, you have restrictors. When I say no water, very little water. You want to wash your hands, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen this, and you turn on the sink and it's very little. Or you want to wash your beautiful hair, right? And you're standing under a shower. Then the suds never go. If the water comes out very slowly, I'm sure you've seen this. It usually takes place in new hotels and new homes.
Yeah, you take a drill and take the
They have
limiter out.
well, you can, but now they make it so you can't do that so easily. They have a restrictor. It's called a restrictor, and it restricts the water from coming out. So I ended all of that, and you have to see these. They let the water come out. You know what people do? They wash their hands like 5 times longer, or in the washing machine they'll press for their, let's say the dishwasher. They'll press it. Then they'll press it about 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
They'll end up using more water, and it still won't be very good. I met with the head of Whirlpool. They were practically going out of business during my administration, and they said to me, from Ohio, incredible, great state, I love Ohio, and they were really doing badly because people were dumping washing machines all over, mostly from South Korea, but also from China. And he was explaining it's just a terrible situation. I said, let me ask you, how's the quality? He says, we're better, but they are good enough quality. But, you know, of course he's going to say that, but, you know, they are better. He said, but they don't allow us. They're dumping these machines. They're cutting us in half. They're killing us. And on top of it, the government won't let us use water in our machines. I mean, he shows me like a quarter of a bottle of water. That's supposed to be washing clothing. And I freed it all up, and I put tariffs on these countries that were selling and the machines coming into the country.
Unreal.
And that company went from all the washing machine companies, they make washing machines, they make dryers, they make all of the different machines that do this kind of work, including dishwashers. And they went from a disaster area to being just thriving.
But can I ask
They love me in that part of Ohio.
Well, I bet they do, but why should EPA, no one at EPA was elected by anybody,
Yeah.
why do they have the power to decide how much water your washing machine uses? Shouldn't Congress in a democracy get to vote on that?
Facts.
Yeah, you could say that. They do things that are not very...
So how do you, that's my question, how do you, if you get elected again, go back to Washington, how do you keep the agencies under control? How do you keep FBI and CIA specifically under control?
The way you do it, like I fired Comey, that was a big deal. You know, a lot of people said, and I fired him very early. Somebody said, oh, I wish you would have fired him. There was a real question about firing him. Anyway, you understand, because, you know, when they have a 10-year term, there is a question. I fired Comey. That was a great thing. If I didn't fire Comey, maybe I wouldn't be talking to you, or I'd be talking to you about real estate or something else other than politics, right? That was a coup, in my opinion. That was a very sick deal. That was the insurance policy. You remember the insurance policy? Oh, she's going to win, darling. She's going to win. But just in case she doesn't, we have an insurance policy. An insurance policy was what they were doing. And we caught them with that. That was a very important tweet or whatever it was, text. It was a big deal. That was a big deal. The insurance policy. She's going to win 100 million to 1. That's not good odds. At least they gave me 1, right? 100 million to 1. But just in case she doesn't win. We have an insurance policy. And everybody said, that's strange. That's strange. But we caught all that because I fired Comey. Because when I fired Comey, it was like throwing a rock into a hornet's nest, into a nest of bees, and the place went crazy.
So when you were president, are you confident that you knew everything, say, CIA was doing around the world?
No, I'm not. It's a very interesting group of people. I had very good relationships, I thought, but I was a little surprised when I got out that, things go on. Look, it's...
What were you surprised by?
I was surprised. I think it's some of the people. I was surprised that there was... I had a group of people. Look, we killed many, using the CIA, I have to say this, very bad actors. We were very good at it. You look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, bigger than Osama bin Laden. I mean, Osama bin Laden is, but al-Baghdadi did ISIS, and he was rebuilding ISIS very strongly.
And that was the CIA that did that?
That was really us that did that.
Yeah.
That was really us that did that. And Soleimani was us that did that, not so much CIA. But we did some very good work with the CIA. But I started, when I looked at the 51 intelligence agents saying that was the laptop from hell was Russia disinformation, when I took a look at that, I said, that's a horrible thing. They knew it wasn't. They knew it was not. And by the way, you're talking about cheating in the election? McLaughlin and Fabrizio, great pollsters, they said a thing like that plus other things meant anywhere from 10 to 17% of the vote would change.
Whatever happened to Mike Pence? You've always been nice to Pence. I've never heard you criticize Pence. You've defended him in public many, many times. He's out there attacking you. What is that?
So Mike wants to run for president. You got to understand, in my opinion, Mike Pence had the absolute right to send the votes back to the legislatures. The Democrats and everybody said, you don't have the right. In other words, what I said, is he a human conveyor belt? You mean if he finds fraud in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, in any of these states, Arizona, he has to send them to Mitch McConnell, right? That's right, sir. Well,
sometimes I miss the year 2016, definitely, because it was a decent year. I actually agree with Trump, where he said if I was president, the war wouldn't have happened. Sure, I may not be a Trump supporter, but I do agree with him there. Oh, yeah, definitely. Obviously, I am 100%. I will admit it. I'm not going to lie there. But it's mainly on his policies more than anything. So, now more than ever, because of how much they're attacking him, But yeah, I agree, 100%. 100%.
The votes back to the legislatures. The Democrats and everybody said, you don't have the right. In other words, what I said, is he a human conveyor belt? You mean if he finds fraud in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, in any of these states, Arizona, he has to send them to Mitch McConnell, right? That's right, sir. Well, if he finds fraud, he has to? Yes, sir. I said, so he's a conveyor belt. Boom, put him in. I said, I don't agree with that. And we had some lawyers, not all, we had some lawyers that said, no, you do have the right to send them back to the legislatures to be rechecked. Because if you looked at what went on in Wisconsin, who, by the way, now agree with me, Wisconsin has been virtually, other than the fact they're not allowed to do anything statutorily, but Wisconsin has been, what they found is incredible. we won Wisconsin. But Mike Pence had the right, in my opinion, to send him back.
Do you ever talk to him now?
No, I haven't spoken to him in a long time. I was very disappointed in him. I didn't want to do what Thomas Jefferson did. Thomas Jefferson, it was Georgia. And it was, hear ye, hear ye, the great state of Georgia is not capable or allowed to tabulate their votes. And Thomas Jefferson, who was the vice president, said, is Georgia sure that they cannot tabulate their votes? Georgia is sure. He didn't send them back and have them redo it. He said, we will keep the votes of the great state of Georgia for Thomas Jefferson and his president. I didn't ask him for that. Could have done that too, but I didn't. I thought that would be turmoil. I asked him to send him back to his legislature to the legislatures, you know, in Wisconsin, let's say.
But why didn't he? I mean, you'd worked together for 4 years. You're the president. He's VP. You say you're aligned on everything.
I think he got very bad advice. I really do. Now, let me tell you what happened. I sat there with a few people. I think his lawyer was in the room too. His lawyer was very much against it. There were other lawyers that felt you could do it. It was one of those things. I think you could have done it. I think you can always do something if you see fraud or if you see problems. But it's very interesting. So after the election was over, the rhinos got together with the Democrats and they redid the election, so you couldn't do it anymore. So then I called the people. I said, so in other words, you're saying I was right. You could do it. Yes, you could do it. In other words, they took the Voting Act and they redid it so the vice president no longer has the power to do what I said he could do. So when that happened, I said, wow. And you know, you'd look some of these Democrats in the eye and they'd say, he has absolutely no right to do it. And immediately after the election, they met rhinos, could name them all, and Democrats, and they approved legislation that takes away the right of the vice president to do it. So I said, so you're saying I was right. The vice president did have the right to do it, and they said, yes, he did.
So if you're saying they stole it from you last time, why wouldn't they do the same this time?
Oh, well, they'll try. They're going to be trying, yeah. And not only me, you know. Look, DeSantis is out. I think he's gone. So he was at a level. People have figured him out. He's gone. But if somebody else got in, other than me, they'll go at him just as viciously as they did me. These people are sick. They will go after them. And a lot of people say they won't be able to hold up. I do get credit for holding up quite well, I must tell you. I think it's...
How do you do that? How do you get indicted, you know, every week and stay cheerful?
I think it's a lot easier because I'm so high in the polls, because it means the people get it. The people see it's a fraud. The people see it, like this horrible district attorney from just a little while ago, from essentially Atlanta, it's Fulton County. She said, basically, I don't have any right to challenge an election. Well, what about Stacey Abrams? What about Hillary Clinton? What about all of these Democrats that are still challenging my election? The same people that are saying he's challenging an election challenged my election. And they did it with slates. They did it with all sorts of things. They were very bad about it. But basically, they're suing me, and they're saying, you don't have any right to challenge it. If you challenge an election, we're going to indict you and put you in jail. So what they're doing is they've weaponized, and don't kid yourself, the DOJ and Biden and the whole group, they're watching all of this stuff. They love the local stuff. You know, the DA in Manhattan. Not only that, they put one of the DOJ top people into the Manhattan DA's office to run things. They don't even have a case against me. It's not even a case. Everyone says, even the Democrats say, you can't bring these cases. You have no case. The Attorney General or the District Attorney, Fannie Willis, in Atlanta, she's getting killed. Basically, she's saying Trump doesn't have the right to criticize an election. But you've been around long enough now. You've seen many elections criticized. I mean, Hillary Clinton goes crazy. Every time she talks, she says, he's not the president. Jimmy Carter said, he's not the president. Well, I am the president. Hillary Clinton called me, by the way, at 3:02 in the morning to congratulate me the night of the election.
Did her voice crack?
Well, her voice was, it's very different, I will say. I won't get into that. But
what do you mean?
Her voice was very different. Don't forget, they were all celebrating at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I came home and I said, you know, I think we won. I felt we won because the rallies are so big. You know, we'd go to Wisconsin and we'd go to Georgia. We'd go to different states. In Michigan, we'd have rallies. In Pennsylvania, we had 58,000 people in Butler. And I said, you know, how are we losing this? How do you have a rally where you have from 50 to 100,000 people, many of them? You know, I did 7 a day for a couple of days. That's a lot. That's a lot. These are big rallies, too. And I didn't hold back. I didn't say, let's make them let's do abbreviations, right? But they challenged this stuff. Yeah. Hillary called me up and conceded. Now, the word is that Obama said you have to do that. But she called up and totally conceded. But now, every time you see her on television, she's saying, like, well, she's challenging the election.
Do you think...
So that would mean that she should be indicted, but that would mean also that Stacey Abrams in Georgia should be indicted, because she still thinks she won the election for governor. She still thinks that. She's never recanted. And
Do you think Stacey Abrams will be indicted for that?
No, of course not. She won't be. The Democrats don't get indicted for things like that. They don't get impeached. No, it's a different thing. With that being said,
yes,
I had great support when they did impeachment hoax #1 and impeachment hoax #2. Jim Jordan, the House was fantastic. And actually the Senate was very good for me, other than, Mitch McConnell. I think if he had, it's too bad I endorsed him. He was begging, he was going to lose that race, and I endorsed him, and he ended up winning the race because of my endorsement. He was down, he was going to lose to Amy McGrath, who had $90 million in cash, all set to go. She was leading by 3. He was going down. I did him a favor, and then 3-4 months later, he really wanted to impeach me. He's a bad guy. But if you look at what's going on politically, it's so interesting. The level of loyalty is different in politics than it is in normal life, I will say. With that being said, I've had great loyalty also. But the House was fantastic. The Senate was very good. They overrode Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, in my opinion, was trying to get senators to impeach me, especially for the second one. And on the first one, he acted very, very slow. He should have gone much faster. But Mitch McConnell wanted to, and the senators went up to him, guys that are subservient to him because he gives money. He gives them money. He gives them a lot of money. He raises some money and he gives it to them, and therefore they do what he said. That's the only form of leadership he's got.
So last question. If you're elected president again, what's your number one priority? When you ran last time, you said, I will build a wall. This time, your bottom line top promise to the country.
So you can do numerous things at the same time.
Of course.
But let's say number one is a border, and taking hundreds of thousands of criminals that have been allowed into our country and getting them out and bringing them back to their country, Guatemala. By the way, not only the 4 countries that we think of as neighbors, all over the world. Last month, we had 149 countries represented. Think of it. We had 149 countries represented, Tucker, from places that many people never even heard of, coming in.
What's up, Bentley Gamer? By the way, welcome. What's the interview about? So it's about Trump. Obviously, Trump interview with Tucker Carlson. It's about the politics and the election and everything that's going down. Essentially, his opinion on Biden and stuff like that, and then what he's going to do for the country if he wins. That kind of stuff. Essentially, that's a kind of short term. That's kind of short term what it is.
Our country. And they're coming in from mental institutions, and they're coming in from prisons. They're emptying out their prisons all over South America. They're emptying out their mental institutions. Terrorists are pouring into our country. We have no idea. I had the strongest border in the history of our country, and I built...
I apologize for that. My internet's being a little... Which I'm not sure why it is, because for the Thursday stream, it was fine, which I know because I even checked. It was fine, so I don't know why it's being crap. I cannot explain that. I apologize for that. I have no idea why it's doing it. I'm the only one that's on it, so I have no idea why. Nothing I can do about it right now, though.
It's 500 miles of wall. They like to say, oh, was it less? No. I built 500 miles. In fact, if you check with the authorities on the border, we built almost 500 miles of wall. And I had another 200 that I was going to build. It's like water. It seeks. And we're going to build another 200. We built it. It was all set to go. All they had to do was install it. It would have taken 3 weeks. And that's when I found out. I said, I think these people actually want open borders. The first thing I would do would be I would seal up the border good and tight, except for people that want to come in legally.
Do you think we're moving towards civil war?
There's tremendous passion and there's tremendous love. January 6th was a very interesting day because they don't report it properly. I believe it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken before. And you know some of the crowds I've spoken before. And like July 4th on the Mall, I think they had 1 million people there. But I think that the biggest crowd I've ever spoken before was on January 6th. And people that were in that crowd, a very, very small group of people, and we said patriotically and peacefully and patriotically, right? Nobody ever says that. Go peacefully and patriotically. But people that were in that crowd that day, very small group of people, went down there, and then there are a lot of scenarios that we can talk about. But people in that crowd said it was the most beautiful day they've ever experienced. There was love in that crowd. There was love and unity. I have never seen such spirit and such passion and such love. And I've also never seen simultaneously and from the same people such hatred of what they've done to our country.
So do you think it's possible that there's open conflict? We seem to be moving towards something.
I don't know, because I don't know what it, I can say this. There's a level of passion that I've never seen. There's a level of hatred that I've never seen, and that's probably a bad combination.
Donald Trump, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Thank you.
That is a bad combination, by the way.
Bad combination. Thank you.
Okay, so that was... Oops, it started over again. Hold up. Okay, so that was the interview between appreciate the new sub, by the way. That was the interview between Tucker and Donald J. Trump. So very good, very interesting. I thought he did very good in that interview. Let me know what you guys thought. If depending on what side you guys are on, I don't want to judge you on what side you're on, but I thought it was pretty good. He said a lot of info, and he went over a little bit of what he plans to do if he wins again, which is great. And yeah, I thought it was a good interview. Very, very funny as well. Which makes it comical a little bit. I hope it's not too bad for you. I apologize on that. That kind of concerns me for the Callisto Protocol stream. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. I guess that's the main key. I'm definitely gonna point out to reset our internet for sure. Definitely, 100%. It shouldn't be this choppy. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure the reason. I'm not sure the reason at all. So yeah, not sure. But I would reset it, but I don't want to mess up what they have, what my dad has connected over there. So, or at least, I don't want to undo the wrong thing, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, I know where the thing is connected, you know what I mean, but I think it's YouTube in general. Well, it's definitely my internet, probably. It's being flaky here and there. I mean, I guess some of it could be YouTube, but I don't know. It's been inconsistent, and I really do believe that they just need to reset it, turn it off, for 10 seconds, and then turn it back on. I think a good reset would be good because it's on 24/7, and my parents, when they work, when they get online and work, it's essentially running it hard for 12 hours, pretty much, in a day, every day. And the weekend is the only time where it's not significantly hard on. I mean, other than me using it, obviously, with streaming, and then, of course, then watching TV. So that's essentially how it goes. Essentially. But, do I seriously need to go over this again? Bruh. So, me starting the Callisto Protocol stream will tell me everything if I'm able to do it tonight or not. If not, I'll make a community post to you guys, letting you guys know I'm going to save it for tomorrow night or whatever the case is. Remember, I'm going to be streaming Fortnite again, Season 3, the last bit of whatever left we have Season 3, up until when it ends, when the season ends at like 2 in the morning or whatever the case is. And then but at that point, I'll probably do Ratchet and Clank, probably, and Callisto Protocol, maybe. We will see. And then I might go to sleep, depending on when the new season drops. Then I'll probably jump on right away. So, but stay tuned. We got lots of fire content, of course, for you guys. Hopefully, this stream wasn't too unpixelated. I apologize for that. At least there's not too much. It's more of just kind of listening and then kind of seeing my reaction to it. Too much, because I mean, really, I just didn't want to miss anything he said. That's kind of why I was just mainly listening more than anything. But yeah. So that's kind of the scoop. But yeah, I'm gonna make that very, very known. I'm gonna let my parents know that, hey, can we just do a good reset to the internet, because it's being kind of if you know what I mean. So I don't know why it's being finicky. I'm not really sure the reason. I hope the router's not going out. It very well could be. Your sound keeps cutting out. Jesus Christ. I can't win. I'll tell you, I can't win. Hopefully you can hear me now. I just turned off my Wi-Fi on my phone. Maybe that might help. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight. I don't even know. It keeps retesting every single time. So I don't know. I'm checking the connection right now. My PS. Is it working a little bit better now? 14 megabytes download. Usually it's about 19 to 20. So that's a little bit low. Waiting on the upload. This is why I can't wait to get my own place. No lie. Yes. The sound, yes, but picture, no. Yeah. Well, that would explain why the stream is being it's 643 kilobytes per second. So I'm not even at a megabyte. So, yeah, I'm not even at a megabyte. I don't know why it's being so low. Usually it's like 1.8 megabytes. Half the screen is black? My insanity will lose it. I tell you, my insanity will lose it. 100%. 110%. Yeah, my kilobytes is, I'm at 643 kilobytes, by the way. So that is why my stream, hold up, I'm checking it right now on my end. I'm not even getting into the Wi-Fi right now on my phone. I'm just using my service, but my service ain't great down here either, so. So you got that. Yeah, I see it's pixelated. You must be getting a more worse end of it, because as I'm going back in the stream, it's just pixelated. That's all it is. I'm not seeing no black. Oh, at some parts of it's not bad, but screen is a little bit off. Yeah. Like I said, I'm kilobytes, man. That's what my upload right now. It's kilobytes. The beginning is black. Oh, is it? Well, shite. I apologize for that. It's a good thing I didn't do too much moving. I guess that could be the only beneficial thing of it. Because then otherwise it would be really, you know. But here I didn't really do any moving. It was more just me kind of listening. I just don't understand. I don't understand why it's being so low. I don't get it. I don't understand it because I'm the only one on it. So I don't get it. It makes no sense. It's like it's hitting hiccups or something. I'm not sure. It makes no sense. I mean, could be maybe the router's going out. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know how new that one is though. I think that one's fairly new, so I'm not really too sure. It might just need a hard reset. You know what I mean? It could just be rusty right now. Maybe that's why. And it's kind of doing these waves where it's fine, and then all of a sudden, then it gets choppy like what it is doing right now, and then all of a sudden, a few hours later, then it's fine again. I mean, it could be. It could be doing that, but I mean, like you stated, I should be getting like almost 2 megs of upload speed, and I'm not even at a meg. I'm at 643.8 kilobytes per second. My download is fine. It's okay, 14 meg. It's fine. I mean, it could be better, but usually it fluctuates between 14 to 22. I wish they would just bring fiber to my house. And they said I'm on the list to bring fiber to my location. AT&T is. Of course. When? That's the real question. I'll be dead by the time they bring it. Shite. I hope sooner rather than later, but damn, man. We've been waiting for quite some time. And watch, when I move out, then that's when they'll bring it. Because that's usually how it goes, right? I mean, it would be great. It would be awesome if they bring it in within the next couple months. That'd be amazing. Because at least then my quality for you guys would be significantly improved. You know what I mean? Like you would see it go up tremendously. Because what I would do is I would put my max. I would up my quality from whatever I had. You know, I had it at the lowest setting. I'll up it to the max. To how I can go. I would put it at the max. And I wouldn't hesitate putting it at that. Because I would know that the internet would handle it. You know what I mean? So, you know, for my Twitch and anything else for that matter. When do I plan to move out? Well, I mean, as quick as I can, but I got to get this trucking job first. That's what I have to do. I have to get my trucking job first. And then get stable income under me. I have to do that first. Otherwise, I won't be able to afford it. You know what I mean? And then obviously, and then of course, I'd have to build up my account. You know what I mean? To get money in there. You know, get up into a comfortable spot. You know, 6 to 10 grand, somewhere around there. You know, get it up there. And then from there, I'd be able to, you know, find an apartment and then move into it. And then the other hard thing is making sure I'll be able to get AT&T internet, because that's the other main thing, which that's not exactly easy right now either. Well, actually, I think I do have 2 locations, but I don't know the situation on them. I think they do require work before moving in, so I'm not really too sure on that. So yeah, I might have to look at that. But first, I got to get money in my account first before I can even, you know, do that. You know, if I don't got money, I can't do anything. So, you know, there's that. So I can't really say a time frame because it all relies on me passing my test. Once I do that, that's the first step. Once I do that, then boom, then I have my license, and then I can get a job, and then from there, then I can apply, and then once I get in, then we can start talking, you know? So, it's kind of one of those things. So yeah. But that's my goal. So we'll see. It might be next year, the beginning of next year. Very well could be. I mean, if I can do sooner, great. But with how fast time's moving, I don't think it'll be this year. So I just don't think it's, you know, I think time's moving too quickly. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind of the scoop. Like I said, I'm just praying that they bring it in. If they bring it in, then at least I won't have this problem. You know what I mean? So then at least it'll be a little bit better quality for you guys. You know? And then I won't have to be dinking with this. So, excuse me. Because I gotta, the download went down. Oof. It's 12.6 megs now. Damn, man. It's even worse than the first time. Yeah, I don't even know why it's this bad. Okay, the upload speed went up a little bit, but still not a meg. 844 kilobytes. I'll show you guys. It might get pixelated, I apologize, because I'm moving it. So yeah, see, it's not supposed to be that low. That is tremendously low. It's supposed to be at least like 1.5 megs. You know, I mean, it's supposed to be in that range, and look at that. It's not even that. It's not even at a meg. So that is why you were experiencing what you're experiencing. So I apologize for it. I do apologize. I don't even know why it started being like this, because it was fine for the Thursday stream. So I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. So I mean, I guess I could look at what's up, Mama Pam. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? I guess I could look at it and see. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Yeah, I guess I could look at it. Let's see. So give me 1 second here. Link in bio. What do you mean? What do you mean the link? What are you talking about? $5 feet pick selling. No. I'm not into feet picks. I don't know where you're getting that from. Yeah, I don't know. It's he's got an interesting setup. Lost 2 subs, whatever. So $10 for 2 feet picks. I don't want feet picks. I don't know why you're coming in here and asking for that, or telling me. Of course, I lose 2 more subs. Go figure. Whatever. We'll hit 3K without him. We only want true fans here. You already know. So, true fans, man. That's what Mr. Ray's thrives on, brother. So that's what we thrive on. Any positions open in your city or county? He'd be a great council member. I'm not into that. That's a little bit too high for me, if you know what I mean. I'm kind of looking at more the delivery type. That's what I'm looking at, if you know what I mean. As far as I know, I think there is some positions that are in my city. At least from what my mom told me. She said, yeah, there's quite a few, actually. And I already got one that I'm looking at that looks ideal, and I'm definitely going to apply for that one probably first. And it's the one in Bay Shitty that I was talking about. That one will be ideal. So that one I'm looking at first. But yeah, I'm going to apply for the others too. Definitely. I'll definitely look at them and such like that. Who wants subscribed? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It is what it is. I mean, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. You know, if you're not a true fan, there's no point in you wasting your time. You know what I mean? And if you're bitching about me not showing and shit like that, then you're in the wrong place to begin with. And frankly, you're on the wrong platform for that. And I don't know why people keep asking. Quit asking, please. I should make that formal. I'm not going to show it here. I'm not iShowSpeed, okay? And, all right, I'm not him, okay? And he didn't even mean to show it. It was an accident for people that aren't understanding. So quit asking. All right. As I said before, this is not the platform for that. This is YouTube. This is not a porn site. All right, and that should be pretty freaking obvious, but clearly a bunch of people don't seem to understand that. All right. Now, the only reason why he didn't get kicked off is because he, for one, deleted the stream instantly. Okay. And two, you could easily tell it was an accident. Now, I'm not advising to watch the clip because I feel bad for him and such like that. And, but people are weird and whatever. So, obviously I've seen it, so I'm guilty of that. But that's because I didn't look at it I didn't look at it the same way as I'm looking at it now. And, I regret my decisions on that, but it is what it is. But you can clearly tell at the very end that he did not mean to do that. That was not supposed to happen at all. And you can clearly tell at the very end because he ended the stream instantly. So, and if he did intentionally, he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have had the reaction he had. All right. And if you watch a lot of his newest streams, then you would surely know that he did not intentionally do that because he freaking, and believe me, I know because I've been watching his streams, and he freaking loses his shit when people keep calling him that, and they freaking push him over the edge, and he's been freaking going insane, and he's been showing it on stream to the point where he's almost crying because that's how much it's driving him mentally insane. So, believe me, I feel him on that. I really do. I can't imagine. I can't, and I'm not going to try. Okay. So, but people were bastards and they keep freaking saying the same shit over and over again because they clearly have no heart. So, and I hope he does not end himself either, as some people call him up and tell him to, end himself and all that. So, I really do feel bad for him, truthfully and honestly. And I can't imagine that kind of pressure on him, So I really do wish him the best, and I hope he gets through it, and that he doesn't let them push him past his breaking point, But to let people know here, I'm not gay, all right? I'm into girls, 100%, and I'm being honest with that, 100%. I'm not changing, and I'm not going to change, so quit asking, quit trying to, push me that way. I get really pissed when you start doing that, So don't. All right? I try to be as respectful as I can to you, or to anybody that asks me that. So as I make it very clear in those sleep streams and stuff like that, respect me. That's what I ask. That's what I demand. You respect me, I'll respect you. A good class act. All right? I'm not asking for much. I don't, but, show respect, please. All right? Otherwise, the relation ain't gonna be good. So, if you can't do that, then I think you're in the wrong place. That's essentially that. But quit asking me to open and do all that shit. Quit it. You're better than that. Quit freaking asking. Okay, I'm never gonna do it. Period. And I mean never. Never doing it here. Never, never, never. And it's all in caps. Shouldn't have to make that any more clear than what it needs to be. But apparently I do. Because people keep asking. So quit asking. I'm never doing it. Because I don't want to get kicked off this platform. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. I Show Speed, he got lucky. Alright? And I think the donations of his supporters is what's keeping his ass on the platform right now. Okay? If it wasn't for that shit and how much he's bringing in the money, I don't think he would be on here anymore. His channel would be bye-bye. Because what he did was he violated the terms of service. He violated the guidelines. One of the guidelines specifically say, no nudity or shown of private parts. It specifically says that in their guidelines. You will pretty much get terminated. If not, a strike instantly. But most likely terminated because it violates their guidelines. The only reason why he's on, the only reason, is because he's making them money. That's probably the main reason. And that's probably the only reason why they turned a blind eye. Okay. Alright. So they gave him a pass. Okay? But I wouldn't test it again, is what I'm saying. I wouldn't test it again. And I'm sure he doesn't want to. Believe me, he doesn't. I know. Alright? He got lucky the one time. I don't think you're going to be lucky the second. I don't think you will be. Because that makes the platform look bad because they're not abiding by their rules. You know what I mean? They're not being fair. I mean, they're already not being fair by leaving them on. But a lot of people are turning a blind eye. So, they're getting away with it, essentially. But they can clearly tell it's an accident, so that's kind of why they're giving it that leeway. And because he deleted it instantly. Okay, but I'm going to tell you this. If I did it, no, I'd be gone. Instant, I'd be gone. And that's a question right there. I'm not even going to judge. I'm not even going to test that because I already know I'm going to be gone. There's no going to be question about that. And I'm sorry. Well, actually, no, I'm not sorry because I care about my channel and I enjoy doing this with you guys and having a great time. But I don't want to get kicked off for something stupid like that. I don't. Because I enjoy being on the platform and I enjoy making content. So, and I don't want that to stop for something stupid like that. So, I'm not going to. I'm not doing it. Period. So, and if you're going to get mad and pissed, well, then piss off. Because that clearly means that you don't care about me. Because it wouldn't make a difference. As, all my shit would be gone. All my hard work that I put into it would be gone. And I'm not doing it just because simply you want to see. There's porn sites for that. Okay? Go to them. That's what they're for. That's why they have those sites here. Is for you to do them. YouTube is not that. It never was. It probably never will be. So so that's the situation, and that's where it's at, so And if people can't respect that, then again, you're on the wrong channel. As simple as that. You know. So leave it at that. You know. So for your members, I will always definitely live up to what I do. For the other sleep streams, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing them forever. I'm not really sure. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. We'll see. You know, I mean, for now, I'm going to keep doing them, obviously, but am I going to do them forever? I can't say that I will. I mean, I'm okay doing them, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people keep getting an impression that I'm going to do something like what I Show Speed did or something like that, and I'm tired of that shit keeps getting asked. That shit's getting really annoying. You know. It's ridiculous. There's better things in life you can do right now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right. Entertainment and entertaining you guys with games and reactions and having conversations, etc. And doing challenges and stuff like that. That is what I enjoy doing because it's fun and it's creativity for you guys, and I have a blast and I enjoy doing it. You know. The sleep streams, I mean, I'm just freaking sleeping majority of the time besides the specific parts. But I mean, you know, is that really what I care to do? Not really, because that's not really my thing per se. I mean, I do it because you name it, but that's really the only reason. Because again, I don't roll that way, so why would I? I mean, I do it because you guys like it, but that's really the only reason, you know. So, as I stated before, I'm into girls. That's what I'm into. I'm not changing that, you know. I'm not gonna change how I roll, you know. That's my shit. That's what I grew up. That's my shit. I ain't changing. Plain and simple. That's what turns me on. That's what gets me going. You know what I mean? That's what I roll with. If you roll with your own race, hey, that's you. You know what I mean? But or your own gender, excuse me. Then that's you. You know. So that's you, but it ain't me. So it's as simple as that. I mean, obviously, if you're going to pay me money to do such and such, well, then okay. But here's the thing. I'd be only doing it for the money. And that'd be the only reason. That's as simple as that. So, that would be the only reason. I would not do it for the enjoyment. It'd be for the money only. And that'd be all I'd be thinking about. Essentially. Entire freaking time. It's just that, hey, I'm going to get a lot of money. And that's the only reason why I'm doing it. And that's it. Sorry. I mean, that's, because I just don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So, just keep that in mind. I mean, I'm not like those guys that do it because they enjoy doing it, and then as a benefit, they get money for it. No, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I don't care to do it because it's whatever to me. All right? Again, you got porn sites for a reason. You can simply just go on the damn internet and look up the shit yourself. And you got all kinds of freaking options to choose from. All right? It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? What makes a difference you're seeing me? Not much difference, okay? Not much difference at all. Really isn't. I mean, I appreciate the kind comments of me looking great. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you think so, because a lot of people in my area don't really see it that way. So, I do appreciate the kind comments, that say I'm sexy and shit. Hey, I'm glad a lot of people do. you know. But of course, I would be the last guy to. I mean, I think I'm decent, but I don't think I'm as hot as you may think I am. Not as much as I see other guys anyway, for that matter. You know, because I look at it a bunch of other guys, and you know, as you would think that I'm hot, I would be looking at them and saying, I think he's 10 times better in terms of looks and everything else. Okay, you know, in terms of that, you know what I mean. So, and then me, I'm just like, I mean, I'm okay, but I don't think I'm that amazing. But that's me, you know. So, again, appreciate the great comments. I do appreciate it. I'm glad you think so. I'm not knocking you for saying it. But, you know, there's a million other guys. Huh. I look a hell of a lot better, I will say. So, let's see here. So, Justin, give shout outs to some of your new mods. Oh, definitely. You mean members? You mean? You don't give yourself enough credit. You're a leader and people hear you. Well, that's true. You're not wrong on that. You're not wrong on that, my friend. You are right. 100%. But I feel like some people don't, though. Some people don't, because there's a lot of comments I see, and I comment to them, and I tell them, quit asking, I'm not going to do this. And they continue to keep saying it. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like, sure, what I'm saying is getting to a lot of people, and a lot of people are listening, but I feel like the people that don't want to hear it just ignore it, and then they still keep saying it because they think I'm going to change my mind. It's like, I'm not going to change my mind, you know, because the rules on the platform don't change. It's the same 24/7 in terms of that, anyway, of what you're asking. That's not going to change. And I don't see that changing, period. I don't. All right. So, you know, there may be that small exception that you might see, you know, a butt and shit like that, but that's for education. That's a different story. Okay, I don't count that. Me simply pulling down no, they ain't gonna, no. That's not the same thing. Sorry to tell you, I'd still be kicked. My ass would still be kicked off. Okay, that's not the same thing. There's a difference. All right, you got to look at the context around it. All right. But who cares about that anyway? Grief. I mean, geez, a piece. You know. I mean, it's only so great for so long, and then after a while, it just gets boring. It's like, okay, big whoop. I mean, that's same old, same old. You know? It's nothing new. You know what I mean? Nothing has changed. You know, same old, same old. You know? So. I will say the emojis that they are putting out, it's annoying. Like, really, it's a sleep stream. Yeah, I know. Exactly. That's, you know, like I said, you know why I do it. You know what I mean? That's the only reason. Do I ignore those comments? Kind of, yeah. Yes, there is a difference. What were we referring to? Oh, mods and members? Yeah. Yeah, not members. No, it doesn't. What do you mean, no, it doesn't? What are you referring to that? What are you referring that to be? I mean, for your members, I treat you guys differently. Me? No, it doesn't. What do you mean? What do you mean, like same old, same old? What do you, is that what you're saying? Like it's not the same old, same? I mean, I guess you can look at it as it isn't, or it doesn't. But for me, it does. I mean, it's the same old, same old. Whoop-de-doo, I put on a different shirt. I put on a different pair of pants. I mean, it's the same shit. You know what I mean? It's a shirt. It's a pants. You know, it's a pair of underwear. I mean, it's a pair of clothing. You know what I mean? Sure, it's a different shirt. Sure, it's a different pants. Sure, it's a different pair of underwear. But again, it's the same shit. It may look different, but it's the same shit. You know? That's what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like me physically, I'm not changing. I look the same as I did frickin' a year ago. I mean, I gotten a little bit older, but I mean, you barely notice a difference. The only way you really notice a difference in me is if you really go back. Now, if you really go back, I do look way different. I won't lie there. I look a lot different, actually. But no, you members, your members are fine. I'm not gonna stop. Don't change. And don't change. What do you mean don't change? You mean for your members? I'm not gonna change for your members. No. The extra content that you're getting, you're gonna continue to get. I'm not gonna change that. I don't have any plans to anyway. So I'm still going to give you, you know, what I stated before. I'm still going to give you that. Heck yeah. A promise is a promise. You know. The sleep streams on a regular basis, that, I don't know. I don't know if I care to keep doing that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on that. I mean as in long term, like in, 5 years from now, is what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it forever, man. I don't know. I don't know if I care to. That's the thing. I mean, for your members, whatever. I'll keep doing it. That's fine. But as long as it doesn't hurt me, that's what I look at as long as it doesn't hurt me. If it starts hurting me, I don't give a shit. I'm going to stop. I'm just making that clear right now. You know what I mean? If they give me like a strike or something like that, you know what I mean? Or they come after me for whatever reason, then I'm going to put an end to it right away. And it is what it is. Because that's telling me right there that, okay, I got to stop. Like I said, I'm not jeopardizing my channel. I ain't doing that. No, sir. I was already on the edge of that in the very beginning when I started. I almost got it booted off. I had 2 strikes on the channel, and all I needed was 1 more, and I would have been screwed. So, I already had that happen to me. So, I'm a careful man. I ain't gonna, I don't want to get kicked off. It's as simple as that. So, I don't want to, destroy the infringements, with me being a partner and all that. I don't want that to get ruined. So like I said, I worked my butt off to get to this point. You know what I mean? I don't want to just throw it away like that. That ain't worth it to me. It's not worth it. Not worth it. So, entertainment has always been my thing. It's always been my thing. That's what got me to this point in the first place. That's what got me past 1,000 subs. That's what got me here. So, if it wasn't for that, wouldn't be here. Simple as that. The extra stuff was, I guess you could say, the cherry on top, essentially. So, it's me not giving a frick It's me just kind of being like, all right, well, I'll do whatever. You know? But, you know, again, as long as it doesn't affect me any, you know. As long as it doesn't hurt me, I'm okay. You know, so. But, you know, support the creator. You know, because the creator is what's giving you the content. If it wasn't for the creator, then I wouldn't be giving you the content. So, you know, like you subbing to me and then watching and then, you know, showing love that way, I mean, that means a lot to me. You simply doing that. So, yeah, not worth it. Stay true. 100%. Yeah, definitely. That's the kind of respect I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you give that respect, we'll be chill. You know what I mean? We'll have a great time. Definitely. 100%. And that's all I want to have is a great time. You know? When you're telling me to show it and stuff like that, that just tells me that you just don't respect me. Because you don't care what happens to me. And that kind of makes me not give a shit about you. I mean, that's as simple as that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's as simple as that. So, you know, so that's what I ask. Just respect. You know, you give that, we'll be cool. So, we'll have a blast. We'll have a fun time. So, all right. So yeah. So I'm not gonna do it because the upload speed is very. So, and then when I wake up, I will, because they're not gonna do it because they're gonna be working probably. So maybe after they're done working, then I'll let them know to, you know, if we can quickly reset the internet, you know, the router, reset it, you know, unplug it, turn it back in, you know, or turn it back on, give it a good refresh, and hopefully we'll be Gucci, you know, from now on. You know what I mean? Hopefully this won't be a continuous issue. So worst case scenario, they'll just come in here, give us a brand new router. The good thing is we don't have to pay for it. It's brand spanking, it's free. So they just come in here and give us a new one, and we'll be fine. Of course, it could take a couple days, or a day or two, or whatever. But oh yeah, definitely. So, like I said, it makes it hard for us because we are like a half a mile away from the box, and that is why I'm not getting the best speeds, as you see. That is the reason why. They were actually a lot worse in the very beginning. So, have to tempted to send you some extra funds. Let me know how. Oh, well, you could just simply send a super chat if you want in the stream as I'm streaming. You could simply just do that. It's the green symbol there on the when you're in the chat. When you hit the chat, it's the green the money symbol button to the right. And you can send a super sticker, you can send a super chat if you want to do it that way. Or if you wanted to go directly to me, you could just hit the link in the description. I have it in big bold letters. Either way, it's money for me. Whichever way you prefer. Those are two different ways of doing it. Or I should say three, but either way. I mean, I appreciate it nonetheless. This is the only way I'm making money, actually, no lie. So, YouTube is literally the only income I have right now, so I don't try to, I'm not a bragger. I don't try to brag for money as much as I appreciate it. I don't try to be a bragger because I'm not that way. So, I'm a respectful guy. I try to be. So yeah. So, you simply watching and all that is always appreciated. And that for me is a lot of love right there. So, yeah, whichever way you do it, my friend, I do appreciate it. You'll get recognition for it, and I'll shout you out. So keep that in mind. So keep that in mind. So, but I appreciate you a member, man. I really do. It means a lot. So thank you very much. So I got some more extra content for you. So, oh. Fortnite's doing an update right now? What? No way. Well, I'll be damned. Oh. Huh. Did I mess up the days? Do they mean like... Did they actually... Did they do it a day early? They did. They should have been more specific on that. No way. They did me. Well, if I would have known that. Huh. Well. Okay. I guess the new update is now. Huh. Wow. Okay. Huh. That is interesting. I didn't know that. No, they just said the 25th. They didn't say, like, it was the nighttime on the 25th, or if it was the... Or if they said it was the... Yeah, see, Dom's live right now. One hour and 15. Wait, is it? Server's not responding. So that probably means the downtime is probably right now. So did you figure it out, Office Help? Did you figure it out for the extra funds? Did you figure it out? Are you interested in my DC comic shows, The Future Flash and The Great Batman? Maybe. Potentially. By the way, I heard that the MCU is slowly dying. I don't know. I don't think this is considering that Marvel are going to keep going. Yeah. Yeah, they are. I would agree with you on that. Well, I'm going to have to wait for the Fortnite thing anyway because the internet doesn't want to work anyway, so So I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow nonetheless. But I'm happy I did it early. The last grind, I mean. Because apparently the update was tonight, which I didn't know that. So, I mean, I knew it was the 25th, but I didn't think it was going to be the morning of the 25th. So, that part I didn't know. Would have been nice to know. Yeah, it would have been great to know. Shit. Would have been great. Yeah, that would have been good to know, man. I'm telling you. Cause here, they're jumping on the game right now. Well, obviously they gotta wait for the servers to respond. So, how long is that gonna take? I have no idea. Damn, that'd have been good to know, though. I'll tell you. Did you figure it out, office help? Did you figure it out about the fund situation or no? Let me know. I don't want to leave you hanging if you did or didn't. Well, yeah, I guess I'll just stream. Just stream season 4 tomorrow. Yeah, I might be interested in some of your comic shows there, Walker did. So, might check a few of them out, maybe. Yeah, in terms of the MCU dying, though, yeah, I think you're right about that. I think they are dying slowly. So, I think they are dying, I guess. Think so. It would be later today, yes. So we got a baseball game, but it'll be after the baseball game, and I'd be grinding it. I thought I'd be having to wait for the update, but I guess I don't. So I didn't know they were releasing it right now. Again, would have been good to know. If I would have known that it was Friday morning at, 2 in the morning? No, well, actually 4 in the morning. If I would have known that, then still can't figure out how to send funds. Just let me know. So, you're on the chat, right? So you see the emoji face to the left, right? You see the chat option, right? And then, do you see the money option on the right? The bottom right? Here, I'll show you. I'll try to show you right here. So see the emoji option, and then the chat, right? So then you click it, right, and then you can chat. So I'm going to slide it back down. So right here, that is the money symbol right there. So you click that. Just making sure you can see it. All right. So right there, click that. And then it's going to give you two options. Super sticker or super chat. And you could do either one. You click that, and then from there, you can make the purchase, whichever you want. Which then you can slide the thing however amount you want. Okay. That being the most, and then obviously that being the least. All right, and then if you do $2 or more, then you can put a message in there if you want. All right. Same thing with the super sticker. It's a little bit more different, but you can have different stickers, essentially like that, for the amount that you want. So, or if you don't want to do that, let's just say, and you want to directly to me, link is right there, the one that's highlighted, I think. Do I have it highlighted? No. So right here, right where my finger's pointing, is the direct link, which is right there in all caps. It's got the arrow pointed. All right. If you want it to go directly to me. So, and that's in the description of the stream. All right. So, do you figure it out now? Let me know. Let me know. I don't know. Let me know. I don't know how good it looked on your end, but that's... I hope you got the gist of it. Yeah, you probably... Oh, yeah, it was pixelated, wasn't it? It is harder to figure this out when it's pixelated like that. Damn. Did you figure it out, though? Let me try switching the camera and then let me try this way. I don't know. Maybe it might work. So this money symbol right here, you click that. And then it's going to give you these two options, and then you pick which one you want. Let's just say you want the super chat. From there, you can pick what you would like. You can slide this to the left or the right for the amount that you want, and then you can also write a message for that as well. And then you go to purchase, and then you'll be able to complete your purchase from there. All right. So that's the super chat way. So hopefully that was better for you. I don't know if it was or wasn't. Hopefully it was. Oh, my battery's dying. I don't have much juice left. Yeah, why is it always pixelated every time I try to show you? I don't know why it's stupid. Well, hopefully you figured it out there, though. I'm sorry, I can't control the internet. But hopefully you figured it out. Just hit the money symbol on the right, bottom right of your screen on your device. I don't know what device you're on, though. That's the... It should be either way. Didn't think it'd be this challenging to figure out, but then again, it depends on what device you're on. I don't know what device you're on. Piece of shit, come on. I don't know why you're dimming so much either. I don't understand. Alright, well, I'm going to end the stream for you guys. For you members, I got a stream for you, so stay tuned for that. Just for you members. For the soldier members. For those particular, stay tuned for that. I'll be doing the Fortnite Season 4 tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Apologize for the pixelization. Apologize. And hopefully we'll get it situated. So, anyways, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Would appreciate it. You can just simply donate in the link in the description. Office help. Worst case scenario, if that's what you need to do, just hit the link in the description and it'll bring you to another page. And put in your username and donate from there. You can simply do that if all else fails. So try that. I can help you if you need help. But anyways, I appreciate it nonetheless. I'm gonna let you guys go here, and like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Would appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one over. I sign up. Peace. Have a good one. Much love. Stay safe. Have a good night. Peace.